All right. Good morning, Janae. Welcome, welcome. So excited to have you on.
I'm excited to be here.
Yeah. So please, just to get started, let's have you just introduce yourself and your organization so all of our viewers get to hear from you.
Hello, hi, my name is Janae Gamble. I'm with So Amazing Kids nonprofit. What we do there is we offer free hair care services to kids that are in the foster care system as well as homelessness. And then we also give workshops to teach them how to take care of their hair. I
Hmm.
also have a Hair by Nicole business, and that's under Gamble Works. So that's a hair business as well, fully
Ah,
salon.
yes, I love that. And I know when we met, I just really fell in love with your whole mission and everything you're doing. And it's going to make such an impact, not only in our community, but, beyond. So thank
Yeah,
you for that.
hope so. I really hope so. My goal is to be the St. Jude, but just in the foster care realm. So for everyone
Um,
to have its own hub.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And so, speaking of goals, what really is your next, I would say maybe like 3 to 5 year goal that you're really starting to reach towards for these organizations?
So my 3 to 5 year goal is to do that. So to really establish it first in Vegas. And then after Vegas, move to LA because that's where I'm originally from. So I have more connections in LA. And then once I get LA, I can move to Washington because I know a few stylists in Washington. And then
Mhm.
it'll just like a hub, like a fire spreading everywhere. And that's what I
Yes.
like everyone sees, the government sees how this program is working, and they can see how we're helping the kids in the foster care system, building confidence,
Mm.
building awareness, and then also teaching them if they wanted to go into the beauty industry or tech, we can funnel a way for that so they don't have to 18 just get thrown out into the system.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Just so many great missions to happen with that. So, what would you say is something that's maybe misunderstood about your industry or maybe even your cause?
I would say that the misconception of hairstylists or beautification is that it's surface. And that is not what it is. It's actually so
Yeah.
much deeper. I was just having a conversation with one of my stylists, and this lady just kept on sending her pictures of how fabulous she looked. Like a week into her hairstyle, just kept sending her pictures. And when she first sat in her chair, she was talking so much negative talk about herself,
Mm.
right? And we're all about positive self-talk, right? So I told her, I said, that's because you're a hair therapist and you have to
Yes.
understand real mission is not just the health of the hair, but also the health of the person who's wearing
Mm.
the hair, because your hair is your crown. And once we
Yes.
understand the power of your crown, then we understand, like, okay, I am beautiful. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
am. And I can't.
Oh, you gave me chills when you said crown. I was like, oh, I love it.
You know what I
Yes.
mean? And so many people are like, oh, I don't feel like doing my hair. It's like, okay, that's fine. That's our job. Oh,
Mm.
wait, let me also unweigh your burdens, because so many people will put unnecessary burdens on us, like, oh, I don't like your hair like that, or you should cut your hair, or your job is telling you what type of hair you're supposed to wear. So we have
Mm.
all this as women or even men, these preconceptions of how we should wear our hair instead of really living through our hair,
Mm.
or
I
if you get
love
break
that.
up, then you feel like you got to cut it off, and you're going through so much. So our real is to be hair therapists.
Ah, I love that. I love that. And yeah, I will definitely echo that, working with women that it is, it's perceived that it's very surface, but that just makes such a difference internally sometimes. Like that's just the
Yeah.
click that some people need sometimes.
It's it's just oh, you didn't realize you were beautiful. Let me show you something.
Yes,
Click.
yeah.
And
Let
they
me let me show
like,
you.
wait, that's me. Like that's me. That's the real me that's supposed to
Uh,
show. Yes.
yeah, it's like you're allowing them to see themselves how you already saw them.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
such a gift. I love that. Oh, I love what you're doing. So, what inspired you to start this business and really go in this direction?
Well, um, so a seed was planted. I had a child come into when I owned a salon on Eastern and Sunset. A child came into our salon, and she was one of our friends' foster child, right?
Mm.
And it was a very traumatic story. And they were telling us that she was failing, she was bullying other kids, and we had made it a mission. We were like, okay, we're gonna do your hair, but you have to come with, there's an agreement. So I will do your hair as long as you pull up your grades. I will do your hair
Mm.
as long as you show up, and you have to start doing stuff. And the reward would be for us to do your hair. So maybe the third time we started seeing a change in her, and we asked, our friend was like, how is she in school? They were like, oh, she's on an honor roll already. And we're like,
Wow, that's
wait, what do you mean
amazing.
honor roll? Wait, the F student that, she's like, yeah, she loves going to school. Like, it changed her whole trajectory of
Oh,
where.
wow.
So, so then we were like, okay, we should do this. We should start a nonprofit. And I was like, okay. So I started back in 2017, but I lost my business. I lost everything, the salon. So I was like, I'm not doing this. And then God was like, hey, you remember that
He's like,
that thing that you started? Hey, hey, hey. And I was like, no, there's no help. I'm not doing it. Find somebody else. And it was like, no, I found the person that needs to do this. It's you. And then
Mm,
I had something personal happen to me. My kids, um I was in a custody battle, and they were just taken and had to go with their dads for a minute. And when I saw my kids and I saw their hair and I saw their confidence shift, I
mm.
knew that it was way deeper. And I was like, okay, no, this has to be, you can't break somebody's spirit like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, for sure. I love that. So, what advice would you give your younger self?
Oh wow.
And this could be personal and then also about business, because you've
Right.
clearly learned a lot of different lessons over even just this span of time with this idea.
What I would say is allow people to be who they are and move accordingly.
Mm. What do you mean by move accordingly?
So if someone repeatedly shows you that, and when I say this, I mean like you have to take a, so sometimes we have a focus of it's a personal relationship, so we're zoomed in, right?
Mm,
What I'm saying is take a an aerial view, back
mm,
up the situation and just look at everything
mm,
and see how that person moves, meaning their integrity, right?
mm.
If someone says something, do they follow through? What is
Yeah.
causing them not to follow through? Can I be an asset to that person, or am I hindering them by blessing them? And
Mm,
then move. That's why I said move accordingly.
yeah.
So you don't always need to. Sometimes we can be a hindrance, right? By always showing up, always being the missing link, right? But sometimes we're not supposed to be the missing link. Sometimes we're supposed to allow things to run its course so they can learn the bigger picture.
Mm, hmm.
But without adversity, how am I going to grow?
Yeah.
Without struggle, how am I supposed to learn? Without any opposition that comes to you, if I never fight my own giants, I'm never going to get to the giant introducing me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I like that.
yeah.
Yeah, I definitely will agree. We learn by these obstacles or these failures and things. And I think, just being a mentor or even a parent, it's like we want to help and we want to put them in these bubbles and protect. And yet it's also by way of them learning firsthand that they actually get the learning.
Right, right, right. And it's interesting because my younger self is not a person who would listen. Right? You could tell
Mm.
something all day long, and I would be like, okay, let me find out myself.
You're
Which
like,
is
okay, I hear you. And
you. I
let me see.
warning signs. I really do. But let me see if that was for me, or were you scared for me not to go down
Mm,
that path? It's two different things, right?
yeah.
So I would say to my younger self too is just really be aware
Mm,
and really listen to people's intent.
I
Because
like
some
that.
people are saying things, but if you listen to their heart, they're saying something completely different.
Yeah, I will definitely agree with that. With your business, were there any changes that you had to consider when we had the whole pandemic and everything that you needed to make out of necessity? Or was that maybe an inspiration for something new?
So repeat your question one more time, just so I answer
Yeah.
correctly.
Yeah. So with your business, were there any changes that you had to consider or maybe that occurred due to the pandemic? Or was there maybe some shift that you made because of that situation?
So yes, there was rules that were enforced upon us. I didn't think they were correct rules, right? So we had to shut down for a period of time, like everyone else. And then when they started saying only what did they call it? Necessary workers or something.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
something to time, right? I was like, wait, that's our job. Like we have all the grade that the hospital has to clean utensils, and then the rules that they said like no blow drying. I was like, what do you mean no blow drying?
Like
And
it doesn't make sense.
then they were like, you can only do hair outside. What do you mean do hair outside? Like these rules don't make sense, especially the way that you say that this virus is traveling, right? You're telling me heat kills the virus. Okay, great. I have a blow dryer. Wait, you're telling me not to use a blow dryer. So there's a lot of rules that I did not agree with.
Mhm.
Um, so instead of not agreeing with them, I just did not do them. Like I just did not work to make sure that I was in compliance. And then
Mhm.
and the main thing that I changed was how I receive clients. So
Mm.
instead of for where you can make an appointment and you can pay for your service after, everything had to be paid for before you came into the chair, which
Okay.
all some people was like, wait, I don't have money. I was like, well, when you book an appointment, you should have money.
Yeah.
What it did for my clients was it allowed them to go paperless,
Mm.
right? Except for the tip. And it also allowed them to budget better. And
Mm.
less so here's the thing, like sometimes people want to talk to you after their service is done, look for their money, call somebody up, tell them to bring the money because they were
Mm.
running late. Like that eliminated everything, which made
Nice.
everybody on time. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah, so sometimes what's missing is people want to talk to you and full on conversation, you're like, I have someone waiting for me,
Yeah. You're like, I love
like
you, and I'll see you next
I
time.
love you, you know what I mean? Like this was not the case anymore. They was like, okay, your appointment's done. I'll see you next time. And then the next one would come in.
Mm.
And so
Nice.
that's the biggest thing that I implemented.
So do you feel like even just that little change really made a big impact in your business and like your overall, like profits and everything?
It did. It did. Some people are not let's see, how can I say it? It changed how I received money. So
Mm.
um I'm still trying to see if it's a good fit. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, wait, my numbers are the same, but it just feels like, um that numbers are down. Does that make sense? Just the way
Mm-hmm.
that I'm receiving the clients.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then I'm also doing something different. You know what I mean? I'm being the Mac of hairstylists right now. Like not everybody knows how to use a Mac computer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody is used to the different way of thinking. Like some people are like, no, I only carry money and I don't want my credit card in your system. I'm like, I promise you, I have nothing card.
Yeah.
I'm not charge you. You're only paying for what you have. If you want to add something else, you can totally add it.
Yeah.
And all you tell me the rest of the money, like it's totally fine.
Nice. I love
Yes.
it. And then is this, maybe even some of these things that you are learning in your hair business, are you taking them into your nonprofit as far as maybe different systems that you'll be using or protocols that you'll be using for that?
Yeah. Yeah. So with the nonprofit, when I have to schedule, um, because I never know who's going to show up, right? So all the stylists are volunteer, and something might come up, right? Or the kids that come in, working with Child Haven, they never know the number they're going to have.
Hmm.
It's always like a fluctuating thing. So what I just started to implement is a almost like a was it e-bright, I think it is, where it's like
Okay.
an system where it shows me who's going to show up. So
Mm.
I'm like prepared for the number. So I also have the gifts involved.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Very good. Okay, I have a couple more questions for you. So, what would you say is your biggest challenge that you are facing in your role right now, and how are you tackling that?
The biggest challenge is that everyone, because I started so amazing, everyone thinks that I know the right.
Oh, might have lost you. I don't know if you can hear me or not. Ah, froze up. Trying to send a text message. Unfreeze, maybe, maybe not. Let me pause it. There we go. Okay, so I have another question for you.
Yes.
And it is, what is the biggest challenge that you're facing right now in your role, and how are you tackling it?
So the biggest challenge is that everyone thinks that I'm supposed to have all the answers, right? And they're looking to me to have all the answers. I'm not a person that will, like, if I don't know something, I'm gonna say I don't know it. So I guess it's really not a big challenge either. Like, but if I don't know it, I'll just figure it out. But I'm just like,
Mm.
just allow me the time to figure out this thing that you're asking me that I didn't even know I was supposed to know. But let me get right back to you on that, you know.
Yeah,
Or if
yeah,
everyone, I think the craziest thing is, right now when we have our events, everyone comes to me at the same time as I'm trying to mentor someone, and I'm like, wait,
mm,
there could have been a better time. Like, everything doesn't need to come to me, like all at once.
yeah,
Like, you we can figure this out. It's super easy. This person can go here. So it's me, what do you call it? Orchestrating the whole event while mentoring at the same time. So I
yeah.
just need a person of contact so that doesn't happen. And that's how I'm gonna fix that.
Okay. And so you had mentioned that, pretty much everybody that comes to help you with their volunteers. Do you have a core team to like run, these events or for the organization, or what does that look like?
So it's very I don't I have one person, and she lives out of state. So she flies into state to come help out
Mm.
with the events, and that's day of. Other than that, everybody else are volunteers, and no one makes all the events.
Okay.
So it's very much because, like I said, well, I didn't tell you. In order for a stylist to come to an event, I picked one of the least likely day that someone will come to a salon, right?
Mm.
But if that salon is open and that hairstyle is working, usually she's leaving maybe $1,000, or he
Mm.
is leaving $1,000 because it's a barber that day, because it is
Yeah.
also a weekend, right? So I'm super grateful that people are leaving money on the table to do exactly what they're gifted to do. And I completely understand if their finances did not work out that month where they have to go work. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I realized that it's a, I used to get mad like, oh, what are you committed? You know what I mean? You say he's going to come. But then I was like, you know what? This is still out the kindness of their heart. And I do not want it to feel like it's pressured or, it's such a requirement that I'm seeking, because then it will lose the giving aspect of it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, and I
Yeah.
can't tell people how to pour from their heart. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
I can't give you that, or I can't even teach you. Right. So that's
Yeah.
something like when you see these kids light up, that should be it, you know, because
Yeah.
the day of working that event is super, like, you're exhausted. Like, I get more exhausted from doing that event than working the whole week at the salon. So I completely understand, you know what I mean? But
Hmm.
it's just the smiles of these kids and knowing that, hey, I am making a difference in their lives,
I love
you know?
that.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So we are going to wrap for today. And thank you so, so much for this time and getting to learn more about your business and this organization. And just as a quick reminder, in case maybe they missed it at the very beginning, please again tell us your name and tell us the names of your organizations.
Okay, my name is Janae Gamble. I'm with So Amazing Kids and Gamble Works, and it's a hairstyle salon that's called Hair by Nicole.
Nice. Thank you so much. And I look forward to learning more about you.